It's huge. You guys are really, really, really blessed. So my goal over the next few minutes is I want to give you hope. I want you to realize that you have what it takes to win here. Each and every one of you in your seat. And I'm also going to give you a few tips that have helped Chris and I over the years make a difference for us. And for you new teammates here in the room, I've got some absolutely fantastic news. This is not a talent business. You should be clapping for that. It is a tenacity and perseverance business. Tenacity is defined as being very determined. And perseverance is defined as a steadfast determination to accomplish the goal even in the face of adversity. You just have to decide. Is this the vehicle that's going to get you to your goals and dreams? Is this the vehicle that's going to get you to your goals and dreams? If the answer is yes, then I would suggest to you that you've got to be 100% all in. And again, if the answer is yes, you have the most amazing leaders in this room that are willing to help you every single step of the way. Now, there's a disclaimer. You're waiting on that, right? It's not going to be easy. I guarantee you're going to get a little bit uncomfortable. In fact, there'll probably be plenty of people that will talk you out of doing primary. There'll be people that will criticize you, people that will tell you you're crazy. You might even have unsupportive friends and family. And you will have days where everything goes south, and you wonder what you did wrong. And you're just going to have to get up and do it over again. Learn from it and do it over again. Have you ever heard the saying, if you want what others don't have, you have to be willing to do what others are not willing to do. So if you want what others don't have, you have to be willing to do what others are not willing to do. So by the end of our time together, I want you to realize that you can make it here. It's just a decision. It's just a decision. So my first decision after we got married wasn't my best one. I had a great decision to get married, but I decided I was going to work as a nurse and Chris was going to work primary care. So we had a new marriage, no money, and I picked up every single shift I could at the hospital. And the support I gave Chris at this time was I would come to Tuesday night trainings or Saturday morning trainings when I wasn't working, or when I felt like it, or when I wasn't too tired. In fact, the first company convention that we went to together was in Atlanta, and I never walked in the building. I spent the entire weekend hanging out with his sister Maria, shopping and dining. See, those of you partners that are in here in the room, you're way ahead of me. Way ahead of me. Chris told me about that entire convention for the 8-hour ride home. I think that was my punishment. See, I was raised by employees. Anybody else raised by employees? So what I saw was Chris putting in a ton of work for very little return at that point. And then I had a defining moment. I had worked at the hospital 10 years, and I was denied a vacation that I put in 4 or 5 months earlier. And I all of a sudden realized I had this light bulb moment, and I hope you have one soon. I had this light bulb moment where I realized forever somebody was going to control me. If I continued choosing to be a nurse, somebody was always going to tell me when to vacation. And what Chris wanted for us was options. So I made a decision to join him, and I started doing the uncomfortable things, and I learned the business. And a year after I made the decision to work with Chris, our income doubled. We went over 100K, and I quit my nursing job. Well, over the last 30 years, we've been paid over $30 million. Wow. With Primerica as your vehicle, you can build income, wealth, and freedom of time for your family and a business that helps every single individual you touch. It's amazing. What company besides Primerica cares if families get financially independent, including your family? There's a saying that I've said 1,000 times to my 3 daughters. To whom much is given, much is expected. We are really, really, really blessed. We have the greatest opportunity in the world to help others. We can control our destiny, and we can build a business that leaves a legacy for generations.
Right.
But you're going to have to work, and you're going to have to grow, and you're going to have to change some from the person that's in your seat right now. So what made us change? Well, it wasn't one big thing. It was a bunch of little things. So number 1, have God as your primary teammate. I don't believe Chris and I would have the business we do if God was not at the center of it. We had quiet time with Him every day. And also during this time with God, I would suggest to you working on forgiveness. I had the opportunity to talk to a doctor who is a genius in curing cancer. And he said to me, Elizabeth, I've been partnering with God for the last 25 years to cure cancer. And the best thing you can do for your health and your relationships is to forgive. He even suggested that you journal every single day, even if it takes you years. See, the forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. Okay? Number 2, compounding of personal growth. Reading and mastering what you read. I think you should be reading at least a book a month. And you say, well, Elizabeth, I'm not a reader. Well, change. Start with a goal of 10 pages a day. And yes, you have time. Turn off the social media, get rid of the television. You have time. Those things will not get you your goals every week. I suggest you read a book. You go back through it. You condense it into 1 page. And you review that till you internalize it. I would also just suggest that you do that for your notes this weekend. When you leave here, you write them down, you can condense them to 1 page, and you study those every single day for the next 3 weeks. Some books I suggest starting with. Let's see if this works. Okay, first slide. Okay, number 3, become a servant leader. You'll get cheated, you'll get lied to, you'll get hurt, you'll get disappointed. Do it anyway, forgive and repeat. Build strong relationships. And the only way to do this is spending time with people. There's no shortcuts to this, you guys. Teammates will not quit on a friend. Number 4, partnerships. This part was huge for Chris and I. We sat down separately and wrote down each of our strengths and weaknesses. Okay? Then we came together. And I'm going to suggest that you take a sheet of paper and you make a T-chart. So, we put Chris over here, Elizabeth over here, and a line down the center. And then you agree to what things you're going to cover during this season of your business, this season of your life. And I would even go so far as to put it on the refrigerator. And do you know what that line in the middle is for? So Chris doesn't tell Elizabeth how to do the things that are on her list. And Elizabeth doesn't tell Chris how to do the things that are on his list. Huge for us. Okay, tip number 5. If you've not read the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, it is a business book. You've got to read it. Okay? It talks about how we give and receive love, and it's the fact that we all speak different love languages. He talks about 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. The idea is if I'm trying to love Chris in a way that isn't one of his love languages, he's not going to receive it. That goes with your kids, that goes with your team. Please get this book and master it. Number 6, discussions with purpose. When you are both going at this business 100 miles an hour, and you add in family and jobs, you're going to have discussions with purpose, also known as arguments. Chris and I are famous, we're much better now, when we used to be packing for a trip, because we're trying to get so much done, and we were so stressed we would literally blow up at each other over the stupidest like how we were folding our underwear in the suitcase. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then there were times when we would drive to the office and we would be going at it really, really, probably heated in a loud voice. And we'd get to the office and we'd open the car door and we'd get out of the car and we'd walk into the office and we would be sweet as pie at each other all day long, walk back out, get in the car, close the door and start right where we left. It's an art form. We would have discussions of purpose over finances. And this one's one you can work on. This one just takes getting lean and mean. Okay? Sit down and get really, really serious about what you're doing with the name. And then start saving, saving, saving. Okay? Stay away from the flashy stuff. You're trying to impress people that really don't care anyway. You can care for financial independence for you and your family. Keep that up front. Okay? Another thing I would suggest is remind yourself daily that you, your partner, and God are on the same team. Your partner is not your enemy. I'll repeat that. Your partner is not your enemy. Having a great marriage? Okay. Number 7, date your partner. We date every single week, still do, have for years. When we had kids in school, it was on Wednesday from 12 to 3. Get creative. Some other things with kids we get creative was we had dinners at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, took us to appointments in the evening. Get creative. We ate breakfast every morning as a family. What does that involve? That just means you gotta get up a little bit earlier. Every 6 weeks, take a break, just the two of you for 72 hours. The next 6 weeks, if you got kids, take the kids. Doesn't have to be expensive stuff, you're just focusing on them. Having a great marriage is not an accident. Having great kids is not an accident, and having a great spiritual life is not an accident. Here's another exercise I would recommend. Is you sit down as a couple and identify what's important for you guys as a family. In Premier, you're going to find tons of mentors. Chris and I found a couple in Tennessee years and years ago. They're about 15 years our senior, and they suggested we write a family mission statement. I think the next slide is a copy of it. Okay, you're not going to read it, you can take a picture of it, but I'm going to read you 2 lines from it. The first line is, marriage is the most important relationship and commitment in life. And the second one is, our priorities are God, spouse, family, health, and finally work. We've looked at this constantly. I have it in my journal, and that keeps us on track. If we start this way, that brings us back to what we're headed for, where we want to be headed for. Okay, number 8, positive affirmations. What are you saying to yourself daily? Is it, I'm a great recruiter, I'm the best recruiter I know, I'm on fire with enthusiasm, I love to sell the dream? Is it, I am not judged by the number of times I fail, by the number of times I succeed? The number of times I succeed is a direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying? Or is it that little negative 12-year-old sitting on your shoulder? Okay, when that one shows up, rebuke that thought and leave it later. Okay? Get rid of that. Talk to yourself positively. Think about this truth. Rich people plan for 3 generations. Poor people plan for Saturday night. Rich people plan for 3 generations. Poor people plan for Saturday night. What are you thinking about? And number 9, you're going to have to call it grit. Grit means courage, tenacity, perseverance, and tenacity, determination, all combined into one. I would paint a picture in my head of what it looked like if I didn't do this business. With Chris was working as an engineer and I was working as a nurse, and the things we would miss with our kids. Is it going to be tough? Are you going to be challenged? Yes. Is it worth it? If you could spend a day in my life, you wouldn't go to sleep till you got it done. I promise you. Now I'm going to show you some pictures. I don't show you these to impress you. What I show you is just different options, different goals and things that you can do, okay? things that have excited me the most are not the things that I thought 30 years ago would. The freedom of time, the experiences, those are the things that are most exciting to me. But I'm going to show you. It's just a decision, guys. Okay. First Hawaii trip. Notice I'm wearing a University of Dayton t-shirt. We go to the next one. Chris is wearing it the next day. I got it clean now. Okay, next one. Our first office. Next slide. Our entire team unstoppable right there. Keep going. Our first house. Go. Our house now. Okay, mental toughness project. This is in our backyard. Our 3 daughters went to sand volleyball court. Such great girls. Their dad said, "You dig the first 2 feet by hand and we'll build it." They did. Okay, go on. Our backyard. Here's that. I had this, go back a second. The indoor pool, I had it on a goal sheet in 1989, which is the year we got married. I'm telling you, write down your goals and dreams. They should be so big people are laughing. Keep going. All right, living room. Keep going. Game room. We wanted our house to be where all their friends came. We bought so many lunch pizza in the last 25 years, it's unbelievable. Keep going. Racquetball court, where we never played racquetball. We played dodgeball in the dark, and soccer games, and rollerblading, and basketball, and keep going. Our lake house. And every 4th of July, we have all the 20-something-year-olds at our lake house the entire weekend. It's an absolute blast. Going. View from our deck. Marissa wanted to play basketball in college. We couldn't do it for her, but we could open doors and give her a great coach. Okay, she had to do the work, but because of the work we did, we were able to get a fantastic coach for her. Keep going. They also wanted to have amazing experiences. This is at the top. This is our oldest daughter and our youngest daughter at the top of the 14,790-foot mountain that they climbed. So they said it was both said it was the hardest thing they ever did, but amazed that they could do it and loved that that's part of their experience. Keep going. Madrid, keep going. Bahamas, Paris, that's Chris's mom on the left. She travels with us all the time. Keep going. Hawaii, Alaska, Greece. Oh, this is a pedicure in Greece. They had fish cleaning your feet before your pedicure. It was crazy. Keep going. Cocktail hour with grandma. Boating with dad. This is in Turks and Caicos. We took Chris's mom rented in Canada for her 77th birthday. Keep going. Venice. Germany, you know, maybe traveling isn't your deal, but these are amazing life experiences. So bottom line, we're able to give our best to the people we love the most every single day. I believe that's a dream life. So what does your dream life look like? Start dreaming really, really big. Is it your kids going to the best schools? Is it freedom of time? Is vacation all over the world? Is it 3 months in Florida in the winter? See, we don't have any fixed vacation time. Is it taking your kids to school every single day and getting inside of their heads so you can be the positive voice that starts their day? Here's an affirmation sheet that Chris put together and our kids learn, and they can still memorize. They can still recite it to you today when they're in their 20s. What does your dream life look like? Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." You have a hold of a vehicle that can get you to all your goals and dreams. It's just a decision. Really, really honored to get to be up here and share with you guys. Now I get to bring up the guy that makes me feel extremely loved every single day. He works every single day getting better. He's a rock-solid father, and even after 32 years, I really, really enjoy spending time with him. My husband, Chris Koob.
By the way, when I take 5 women on vacation, my mom, my wife, and my 3 daughters. The budget starts at 25 grand a week. We haven't had a vacation in 5 years where it wasn't at least 25 grand a week. I'm just going to get used to it now. But anyway, I know Elizabeth brought this up, but I just want to say that I don't know of a better group of VP leaders anywhere in Pine America than what's in this room, okay? And that's not a gut feeling. Okay, I can quantify that for you. I won't do it right now, but you've got to know that you're in the right spot with the right people. Okay, I can grab off some names, of course, Lena and Mero and Sadberries and Alan and Sabina and Jessica, Carlos and Stephanie, KZ and Guzzle. Now who's that little guy? Okay, that's okay. Barbara and Charles and Sarah, and of course. I can't tell you how proud I am of Fremont and Kimberly. I just do not believe it gets any better. I'm just telling you. Okay, they make mistakes, I'm sure. They don't tell me about it. But I'm just telling you. Okay, you all are the most blessed people I think on the planet. So Elizabeth talked about this, and hopefully after her talking and me talking, you'll know that you can make it here. Now that doesn't mean you're going to make it here. It just means you can make it here. You're going to have to make some changes. We're going to talk about that. But I don't know, maybe I'm just going to wire this way, but I walk around with, even today, with an insecurity thing. Okay, whatever that means. Okay, somewhere in my brain, someone's trying to speak to me doubts. Okay? And I don't care who you are, I think you got that. And the challenge is who you listen to. I will tell you, I don't know that I fully had the confidence that Chris Koob could make it here, okay, but I knew Primerica worked. So I borrowed the confidence in the Primerica system as I was going along through this, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you about that. I won't go into a lot of details of it, but I'm an introvert. Okay, I think I hold every record at Primerica for pitiful. Okay, I challenge you to find somebody that's taken longer, worse, all that kind of stuff, okay? I'm an introvert, so kind of I avoid people, okay? If there wasn't money involved with this thing, I don't know that I'd be doing all this stuff, okay? I got this constant battle in my brain, like you got the 12-year-old and the adult. The 12-year-old said avoid people, okay, at all costs, okay? The adult says, hey, you're supposed to make a living here, provide for your family, get work, suck it up, okay? So that battle is always going on in my brain. Well, when you're an introvert, you don't seek out people, so you don't develop people skills. Sounds reasonable, right? Okay? So I remember my first phone call, I actually had to hang up on the person, okay? Because, I'm not the only one that's ever been nervous, okay? Don't give me that, right? Okay? Anybody ever talk faster when you're nervous? Okay? Anybody, in the English language, we have these things called periods. Okay? That's where you're supposed to breathe. You didn't know that, okay? Well, if you're nervous, what do you do with periods? You go right through it, right? Okay? Well, you go through enough of them, and you reach kind of a danger spot. Okay? Pass out or hang up. I chose to hang up on the person. Okay? Never call them again. My presentation skills were terrible. Okay? I remember I used to, you think of a notepad back in the nowadays, we got an iPad or something like that, but a notepad. Okay, I would rest my right hand with a pen. Let's think of this as a pen. Rest my right hand on the table and hold the other one on the table. I kind of like scrunch over like this, and I would give a presentation like this because if I raised my forearm would shake so much, which would make me even more nervous, and all that. Okay, my first 54 appointments. Okay, I promise you, I'll challenge you. You can't give 10 presentations in the market, okay, without having 2 or 3 people say, could I maybe get some of that stuff? I did 54 presentations, sit down, in their home, 54, got 0, nada. Okay, you don't even try to beat that, okay? I I used to drive around the block just to get enough courage to pull into the stupid driveway, and they knew I was coming. Okay, the company did a dark house video, like somehow that was a negative a couple years ago. I was praying for dark house. Okay? I mean, talk to me like that night, okay? That was beautiful, okay? But wait a minute, you laugh, but how many times do the short-term feelings destroy our long-term goals? I'm not talking about primarily, I'm just talking about life. Okay? We're all guilty. Now, you may play out differently for you, but you've got to conquer that person. You got to conquer that 12-year-old that's feeding you that stuff. Okay? Anytime, 99% of the time that I'm going on feeling, okay, for my long-term success without any logic interjected there, I'm probably heading in the wrong direction. Okay? Anybody made a short-term emotional decision that you look back at and you really wish you hadn't done that? Okay? We've all done that. Well, you've got to make sure that you learn from that and don't keep making those mistakes. I want to tell you the reasons why we're still here, because I think it's going to help you. You will get kicked in the teeth. Okay? You will. The only way not to get kicked in your teeth, okay, is to don't do anything. The only way not to ever get dumped in a relationship is never have a relationship. Okay, they kind of go together, right? So, when you get challenges in my marriage, here's what I want you to do. I want you to remember two things. You write these down, okay? One, remember why you came here. Obviously, why you came here was you didn't like the life you had before here. So why would I go back to what I did once because this was frustrating? Think about that. That'd be like my wife and I are having a spat, so now I'm going to go back to the girlfriend that I didn't like to begin with. Okay, look who I want to spend my life with, but somehow that's better now because I'm irritated with her. And that doesn't make any sense. Some of you might have done that, but I'm not okay. That's all right. But think about it, okay? Your life before America wasn't going to get you a dream life. If it was, you wouldn't have come here. So why would you settle for a non-dream life? Suck it up, okay? Push through, and make it happen, okay? That's really what you got to do for anything. You want to have a great marriage? Suck it up, push through, and make it a great marriage. You know what I'm saying? You want to have great kids? Suck it up, okay? Push through, and make it a great relationship, okay? It wasn't supposed to be easy. I'll let you see that happiness doesn't come easy. It takes work. So I tell you all that, okay, because we're going to have to change. But I want you to know that because I want you, whenever you're going through certain struggles and frustrations and challenges, I want you to know you're not the only one. I don't mind going through pain if I know by going through the pain I get to where I want to go. I just don't want to go through pain and then just go through pain. Okay? So, the podcast, the 3-hour podcast Saturday. Okay? Now, be careful if you raise your hand on this because I'm going to ask you a question. Who watched the whole 3-hour broadcast last Saturday? Okay, I know I did. Have you ever figured out that true success comes from what you learn after you know it all? I was one of the speakers. I guess they presumed I probably knew something. I watched the whole thing. Because I always wanted an edge. I always want to learn. I always want to take my game to another level. If Chris Koob caps, then who he can lead caps. I can't take anybody further than I am. Those of you that watched the whole thing, okay? Who's the last speaker?
Whittle, okay, just do a program, okay? Okay, what did Bill tell us to do? There's three things, let's just talk about one.
Read the book.
Read the book. What was the book name? You gotta look at your notes, okay? That's how I make this your best year.
Yes.
I don't need to look at my notes because I bought the book. I've already read 35 pages of it. That's the difference between you and me. Not because I'm smarter. Well, I think most of you are way smarter than me. Okay? I'm just always getting better. Okay? So, I think it would have been a blessing for you to see me 30 years ago, because then you would know that anybody can make it a primary. Okay, so take a picture of this. By the way, Elon Musk, okay, everybody knows Elon Musk, right? Okay, he started his rocket company. What was that thing? What was it? SpaceX? He was asked, buddy, okay, you own like this PayPal thing, you own this. How did you learn to like start a rocket company? Rocket ship? What do you call that? Rocket company? Rocket ship company? He goes, went to the library and read some books. It's kind of scary that they have those books in the library. But this is one of the smartest, most successful entrepreneurs on the planet. And what did he do? Okay? He read a book about it. A bunch of them. But we're too cool for that. We're too smart for that. We don't want to put forth the effort to do that. If it's easy, it's sleazy. Let me get you in a habit. Two choices on any subject that you need to do. Pick the hardest one. 90+% of the time you'll be on the right path. Okay? Don't believe them. If you're listening, if they aren't worth $1 billion, don't listen to them on social media. Okay? They're using you. They're conning you. They're entertainment. If they really knew what they were doing, they'd be worth $1 billion. Listen to people that had success in the area that you want to have success and that override you. Those are the only ones that care. I love Primerica. I love all the Primerica leaders. I've got a bunch of them with great friends. But the fact of the matter is, they don't care if you're successful or not. They just, that maybe is said callous, okay? They'd like you to be successful. But they're not spending zero time worried about your success. I promise you, this group wants you to be successful. Okay? And they directly benefit from your success. And they're already successful. And if that's not good enough for you, call me. I'll take a call from any of you. Okay, we're going to talk about primary. Talk about your success. And we can listen, I got thousands and thousands of people part of our business. Okay? Make sure you understand the motives behind the person that you're listening to. Okay? Okay. That wasn't on my slide, but okay, let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom. 20% of what you read or listen to, you'll retain. 70% of what you write down from what you're reading or listening to, and look at within 24 hours, 100% of what you read or listen to, you'll retain if you write it down and look at it daily for the next 90 days. Ballpark, this front row, how many things do I really got to get good at, okay, number-wise, to make it here? 7, 10, 15, max 20. So you tell me you couldn't do that, okay, for 7 different things, 10 different things, okay, for your family to have wealth, for your family to have a dream life? Yeah, it's a little bit more work than watching Netflix. But the results are a heck of a lot more than watching Netflix. Okay, just take pictures. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me go to that. Stop making excuses for where you're at. Do you know why people make excuses? People make excuses because they have no idea where they're going, so they have to justify where they're at. Have you ever noticed that's what people do, why they make excuses? They're justifying, right? They're justifying why they didn't do something, justifying why they did something, okay? Talk to somebody, okay? So where do you live? Over here? You know, that's not a great place that we're immediately going to justify why they live over there. Excuse. What they drive, excuse. Okay, what they do with their time, excuse. Why they have success, excuse. We've all done it. My challenge to you is let's not keep doing the same things expecting different results. Skills pay the bills. We just talked about that. Great attitude, prioritize your life. No huge rewards without huge prize. Believe in the cause. We've kind of talked about that. We can skip through it. Or go ahead. I'm sorry. My fault. I know I'm choosing you. But the traditional finance industry just wants to sell you something. They do not care if you become financially independent. Now, can we agree your actions speak louder than your words? So, can I assume that this group, with every client, they're not trying to sell them something, they're trying to get them financially independent? Okay? That's our rhetoric. Please don't make us a hypocrite. It's not about a sale. It's about getting that family financially independent because no one else will. And that's our bedrock. That's kind of what we planted on our flag. If we're not going to do that, what are we? Just a money machine? Okay, the financial industry is full of money machines. Okay, thank you. Keep going. This is not, okay. Key principles. Oh, jeez. Okay, just go down to the bottom. Every time our kids said something's not fair, we made them do 3 push-ups. Life's not fair, so what? Okay? Where's my Uganda friends? Okay? Can we agree that even the poorest person in the U.S. probably lives better than most of the people in Africa? Life's not fair. You've already been blessed way more than most people in the world. Okay? Just be grateful and let's go do something special. Make sense? Okay. Recruiting directly solves all problems. Okay? If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Number one reason, okay, you saw there are no good jobs. Right? You all saw one that took a picture. Hopefully, did you give it a week enough time or good enough time to take a picture of that? Okay. Number one reason why there are no good jobs is you have to trade hours for dollars. How can you be free if you have to trade hours for dollars? Can you have a dream life if you're not free? If you don't control your time, can you have a dream life? So can we agree? You might have 800 things on your dream life list that you have to have, but one of them is you have to have freedom of time. And anytime I'm trading hours for dollars, I don't have freedom of time. Therefore, I can't have a dream life. Right. You end up chasing that little balloon with the money, right? Companies are really good at dangling those things out there for you. Hey, keep working out, we'll get you that promotion, buddy. And it just keeps getting pulled away. Keep going. I'm sorry, Christine. Okay. Keep going. We'll take a picture of this. I don't have time for this. Okay. You might make a note of the top line. We talked about this on Saturday. 25% of Houston in Dallas. Okay, where's my Dallas crew? Okay, Dallas, okay. Who else I got? Anywhere outside of Texas, Houston, or Dallas? Okay. 25% of those cities, the people who work there, are going to change careers in the next 12 months. Not change jobs. Change careers. 1 out of every 4 people that you're talking to, that If you're sleeping right now, you do not get it. Okay, Primerica broke the code. It's never, we broke the code on this thing, okay? Let me get my notes. The first thing we broke the code on is prospecting. Okay? You know what the rest of the industry does? Is they cold call. Yeah. How do they make a living cold calling people to get them to buy something from them? Shoot me. Anybody ever did door to door? Okay, I know I saw Pippin out there, a lot of their folks from, okay, that's tough. I mean, my hat's off. I mean, anybody, like, hi, I'm Chris. Hi, I'm Chris. Hi, I mean, day in, day out, it's hot, it's cold, it's rainy, it's May. Anybody here, have anybody from America say, here's what we want you to do. We want you to cold call for clients. No, because everybody quit. We broke the code. We get all our clients from field training. We get all our clients from referrals. We can build massive, I promise you, okay, that all the people you've seen in your Primerica, I think we got, what do we got, 1,000 of them now that make 250 or more, okay? All of them built their client base by field training and referrals. Calling people, going to see people that actually like they were coming. We broke the code, okay? The second way we broke the code is everybody else in the industry can only make money from one product basically per client. They're in the insurance business, so they're selling insurance. Once they sell insurance to that client, there's nothing more to sell. They're in the investment world, okay? Once they get an investment client, okay, there's nothing more to sell. They're in the mortgage world, okay? Well, the averages speak for themselves. Median income for, let's go back, median for insurance is $67,000. Median for securities, okay, and obviously people are cold calling and all that stuff, you don't understand. The securities is $93,000. Next one, mortgages, $76,000. Next one. We will have the highest paid advisors in the world. Okay, can we agree? Can we agree? The tough part is finding a client. Finding somebody who will let me give them a presentation. Well, once I found that person, why would I just only do one thing? I just took the averages from all those different market segments, industry segments, and add them up. Is it a safe bet that if we get an insurance company, they probably could invest with us? They got to retire, right? They got to do something. A certain percentage of those folks are going to do mortgages. No different than the certain percentage of the industry is going to do mortgages. Our percentage will be no different. Why would we make the $76,000 they make? Here's the killer, okay? In the next 9 years, because of the inheritance going to the millennials, the average VP in Primerica that's doing securities, their office doing securities, will get to $1 million a year, in my opinion, just from securities. Which probably means they're going to make $1 million a year from life insurance. Probably going to make, I don't know what's going to be. It's too good to be true, isn't it? I mean, you start looking at this, you're like, where's the catch? The catch just work. I don't know why you all have been so blessed. We could have done the exact same work I'm talking about 20 years ago, and we'd make 100,000, 200,000. For some reason now, it's just everything's coming together. You could have dreamed it any better. Okay, I gotta get, let me just put it there again. Okay, I'll come to that.
Good, you're awesome. Just keep
There, go back. Okay, so this is a bunch of VPs in Team Unstoppable. The number on the left is the number of VPs that they developed themselves. The number on the right is the number of VPs in their team. So would you agree, looking at that, now you don't know the name, but would you agree by looking at that this team kind of knows how to develop VPs? Okay, see, and then down there you got 6 out of 13. Okay, the Greens have 6 direct VPs that they developed, and the total team here has 13. But with the magic of this, we'll have 2 or 3 more in the next 30 days, right? Okay, I'm expecting by the end of this year, this team to add 15 more, and by the convention of next year, 12 months from today, I'm expecting 30 or 40 of you to go to VP. I've seen all of them do it. Okay? I mean, every single one of them I saw as they were going through. Okay, listen to me. I pick out some of the bigger numbers, and I will tell you, every one of them rested. Otherwise, they'd be double or triple. Those 2 aren't resting. Okay? They're getting dressed. They're developing leaders. Okay? And by their example, okay, you've got a whole leadership team that's not resting. You may be all tired. Okay, you're Russell too old. You may be like you did back in the day. You still got stuff in you, right? You still got stuff in you. Everybody, the whole team's like under 30. An age, okay? You got 30 years before you have to retire. This team right here could develop hundreds of VPs. Why not? It's not like, I mean, are you putting like 100 hours a week? Okay, anybody? No! 40, 30, 40, 50, I mean, it's not like you can't go for a while. We could do a meeting like this in a couple of years, where you need like a donut. Like we got donuts somewhere in the stadiums or big places. But what's the pastor on TV? Can we borrow his place for the next one? Okay? But think about it. Our registrar company 7 years later had 200,000 people on his team. Okay? I'm not talking about that. Let's just get to 5 or 10,000. This team can do that. I promise you can do that. Let me just end with a story, a true story. And then we'll go. So Teddy Stallard certainly qualified as one of the least. Disinterested in school, musty, wrinkly clothes, hair never combed. One of those kids in school with that deadpan face, expressionless, sort of classy, unfocused look. When Miss Thompson spoke to Teddy, he always answered in monosyllables. Unattractive, unmotivated, and distant, Teddy was just hard to like. Even though his teacher said she loved her whole class the same, down inside she wasn't being completely truthful. Whenever she marked up Teddy's papers, she got kind of certain perverse pleasure out of putting an X next to the wrong answers, and she put an F at the top of the page. She should have known better. She had Teddy's record, and she knew more about him than she wanted to admit. Teddy's record read, first grade. Teddy shows promise with his work and his attitude, but has a poor home situation. Second grade. Teddy could do better. His mother is seriously ill, and he receives little hope. Third grade. Teddy's a good boy, but too serious. He is a slow learner. His mother died this year. Fourth grade. Teddy is very slow, but well-behaved. His father shows no interest. Christmas came, and the boys and girls in Mrs. Thompson's class brought her Christmas gifts. They piled their presents on the desk and crowded around to watch her. Among the presents, there was one from Teddy Stallard. She was surprised that he had brought her a gift, but he had. Teddy's gift was wrapped in brown paper and was held together with Scotch tape. On the paper were written the simple words, "For Miss Thompson, from Teddy." When she opened Teddy's present, out fell a gaudy rhinestone bracelet with half the stones missing and a bottle of cheap perfume. The other boys and girls began to giggle and smirk over Teddy's gift, but Mrs. Thompson at least had enough sense to silence them by immediately putting on the bracelet and putting some of the perfume on hers. She said, "Doesn't it smell lovely?" And the children, take their cue from their teacher, agreed with oohs and ahs. At the end of the day, when school was over and the other children had left, Teddy lingered behind. He slowly came over to her desk and said softly, "Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Thompson, you smell just like my mother, and her bracelet looks really pretty on you too. I'm glad you liked my bracelet." When Teddy left, Mrs. Thompson got down on her knees and asked God to forgive her. The next day when the children came to school, they were welcomed by a new teacher. Mrs. Thompson had become a different person. She was no longer just a teacher, she had become an agent of God. She was now a person committed to loving her children and doing things for them that would live on after her. She helped all the children, but especially the slow ones, and especially Teddy's daughter. By the end of the school year, Teddy showed dramatic improvement. He had caught up with most of the students who was even ahead of some. She didn't hear from Teddy for a long time. Then one day she received a note that read, "Dear Mrs. Thompson, they just told me I would be graduating first in my class. I wanted you to be the first to know that university has not been easy, but I like it. Love, Teddy." And 4 years later, "Dear Mrs. Thompson, as of today, I'm Theodore Stouter, MD. How about that? I want you to be the first to know I'm getting married next month, the 27th to be exact, and I'd like you to come sit where my mother would have sat if she was still alive. You're the only family I have now. Dad died last year. Love, Teddy." Mrs. Thompson went to that wedding and sat where Teddy's mother would have sat. She deserved to sit there. She had done something for Teddy that he could never forget. She had given of herself. In my opinion, 100% of the folks you're going to meet in life are just like Teddy. Stories may be different, but they all have the doubts. They all have the concerns. They all have things in their armor. If they're males, maybe they hide them well, they're young males, but they're rare. And they're just looking for someone to pour into them. Okay? To care about them, to do something for them that will live on way past their life. You take that approach with America, yeah, you'll get wealthy, that's a given. But you'll have a happiness and a joy that passes all understanding. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for inviting us to this.